Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is making it difficult for northern Nigeria to have a political platform come 2027. I repeat, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is making it difficult for northern politicians to have a political platform where they can register their grievances against him as president. You know, in northern Nigeria today, they said Tinubu is one-term president. The North have resolved that they must vote out President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But the joke here is that the president is making it difficult for them to have a credible political platform where they can register their grievances. If they not have the numbers, if they have the voters, if they have the structures, and you don't have a political platform, you cannot win elections. Now, the only political platform, potent political platform the North has now is the ADC. Mind you, the ADC is for the North, and it serves Northern interest. The same ADC is having problems. Northerners are worried. Northern think tank politicians are worried. You know that I said it before that this ADC, they are fighting Tinubu and APC. They are fighting Wike. They are fighting INEC. And they are fighting the judiciary. For ADC to survive this fight, and this fight from these four systems, I don't think they can be able to function in the next election. That is why northern politicians have decided that they will have a plan B. You cannot fight Tinubu, fight Wike, fight INEC. Only INEC self, only INEC. If INEC vote against you in any election, there's nothing anybody can do. If INEC is resolved that they will work against you because it is Nigeria, we know that INEC is compromised. If INEC is compromised against you, there's nothing that you do. In fact, the police and judiciary, they have little or nothing to contribute to election malpractice, election rigging. INEC is the main factor. You know, that's why the North is saying Amukuta must go. Amukuta must go. If he does not go, any election conducted under Amukuta will not be, they will not regard any election. They will not, see, they said that they are going to burn the country to the ground if Tinubu still uses Amukuta to conduct the next elections. To show you how critical INEC is when we talk about democratic elections. So they have resolved that there's going to be a plan B for them to have a platform. Because I look at it, with your numbers, with your politicians, with your structures, because the North has numbers, they have political structures, they are politically aware. Like I said, the North, their lifeline, they are surviving. For them to survive in this our Nigeria, it is for them to have political power. If you starve the North of political power for 10 years or 15 years, you will not recognize the North again. There's nothing. The Southeast have not been in power for a very long time, but we are still surviving. We are still managing the whole. If you starve the North, especially those their political, their northern politicians, if you starve them of political power, you see. So a plan B has been decided by the northern political think tank, and that plan B is PRP. PRP is owned by a northerner. I think it's Baba-Ahmed. I think the relation to Ahmed Dati that deputized P2B during the 2023 presidential election, the deputy of P2B, Ahmed Dati, I think his brother, Hakim Baba-Ahmed, is the one that is in charge of the PRP, and it is a northern person that will present northern interest. Mind you, Hakim Baba-Ahmed served under Tinubu as political advisor before he now resigned. He resigned and he is handling the PRP. You see, politics in Nigeria is complicated things. Tinubu is everywhere. The frustration these northern politicians are getting from Tinubu, I don't know whether they will survive it. That is why I told P2P, you need to leave the ADC aside. There is no future in the ADC. We keep repeating it. You know, some people, they sabi talk, they sabi say all sort of rubbish, use English, beautiful English to say rubbish. Let them keep on saying rubbish. At the end of the day, you see that there is no way for P2B. They're not even in the ADC. They are telling P2B, there's nothing we can give you other than VC. Even the VC itself, if you do anyhow, we don't even give you VC. Amechi is there. So I won't push it that Amechi has value, political value than P2B in the ADC, especially in the North. You can see how they are handling P2B issue. We have said this earlier on. And as it is now, it is too late to go into another political party, the Obedient movement. It is too late. The only thing that the Obedient movement can do is to make sure that they harness their networks and form a political party. If it takes them 4, 6, 8 years, let them form a political party. If they really want to have a shot at the presidency, the best time the Obedient had, the Labour Party, P2B had that shot at presidency was 2023, and he could not fight for his right. He said, calm down, let's go to the court. We went to the court, and we are the ones looking foolish now. You are the one running helter-skelter after court give their verdict. Does it mean that P2B does not understand the judicial system, the system we are practicing in Nigeria? If he had done a little protest and revolution, I think we will not be here where we are today. They say, calm down, we will go to the court, we'll challenge them, blah, blah, blah. And here, he's begging, looking for relevance, left, right, center. If they give P2B vice presidency and he accepts it, he has destroyed his political career. Anybody can talk, you can gaslight, you can say anything you want to say, but that is a fact. We look at what has happened in the past and history. Even as it is now, northern politicians are not holding the carrot and stick as they used to hold it before. So they cannot promise you anything. The best way is for southern Nigeria to push for southern interest. You know what I'm saying this? For example, look at the north today. Look at the middle belt. Look at the houses. Look at Christians in northern Nigeria. Everyone is dissociating from the Fulani political class because of the atrocities they are committing on the ethnicities in northern Nigeria. Political structures, political alignment is very important when it comes to election. Political structures, political alignment is important when it comes to elections. You will not tell me that a middle belter, even with all the killings that are happening, let's say the fact, with all the killings that are happening, okay, Tinubu has failed in insecurity, left, right, center, blah. With all the killings that are happening, a middle belter will not vote for a Fulani presidential candidate. A middle belter. The Hausas, most people, their eyes are opening. And I don't know if the Hausa politicians available, they can be able to come together and harness their network, the numbers, the structure of the Hausa people. If they can harness, like I said, the Hausa people have started registering organizations of interest. I will read it out. They are not playing. I'm telling you why a P2B is not safe with this current ADC as constituted. The Fulani are the ones in charge, and the Fulani will become irrelevant in the future. This is something that we have seen will become irrelevant in the future. Let's look at what the Hausas are trying to do. I've said it before that P2B is better off with APC where everybody don't like. It's better with the APC than the ADC. We don't like Tinubu. Tinubu has not performed. We are talking about reality here, how you can lay hold on political power. We'll continue lamenting left, right, center. We can go win election. Tinubu go win election. I told you that this next election is coming. Tinubu win election. Him and them Wike, they go share the loot. They go share the cake. Maybe out of 30 states, Tinubu will just give Wike 1 or 2 states. PDP 1 or 2 states. They're having a PDP meeting, NEC meeting, at Wadata House, shared by Wike. You know what it is? You know what statement? Wadata House, where the PDP headquarters. Wike is having a NEC meeting. A NEC meeting. Just look at the whole. Hey, so I'm looking for this thing about the houses. If I tell you, I've made a lot of predictions, and these predictions have come to pass. But people really see that you don't like. You are supporting. Somebody said, "I've watched all your programs. It seems you are supporting Tinubu." I'm not supporting Tinubu. I'm supporting a restructuring that will lead to the survival and liberation of Nigerians, because we are in a cage. Whether you don't know or you have to know, we are in a cage. So, looking at this critically, we want to let me predict what's going to happen before I get to this. Okay, I've seen it. Hausa organizations that will be established across different sectors: the Council of Hausa Imams, Hausa Academics Forum, Hausa Media Practitioners Forum, Hausa Diaspora Network, Hausa Students Association, Hausa Youth Association, Voice of Hausa Women, Hausa Veterans Club, very important, Hausa Artisans Organization, Indigenous Traders Association, Hausa Musicians Association, and Hausa Zala Association. They already have a political arm. These are the organizations that they will be establishing in the not this year. So the Hausas are forming their political structures away from that of the Fulani. They're going to send. That's why it is important a Southerner win the presidency. Come to yourself. I don't care how emotional you are. I've told you before that no single human being can fix Nigeria. Nigeria can only be fixed if it's being restructured. Anybody that's not moving towards restructuring, which will lead to regional system of government and outright division of the country, that person is just coming to enrich himself and his cronies. And at the end of the day, so, and again, very much important, Southern presidency will save us from the Fulani ideology, the Fulani plan. If not for Tinubu, the plan of the Fulani is to carry out jihad. That was the stage that we are now. We are in the stage of them carrying out jihad. But Fulani's government, Tinubu's government has displaced many of them from, look at Tinubu's appointment. INEC chairman, Middle Belt, or North Central. Chief of Army Staff, North Central. MD, NNPC, Kwara. CBN. Look at the security formations. Only Ribadu and Matawali. Key posts, important posts. APC chairman. I think Netanyahu, I think from, I'm not sure, from Benue or Plateau. Just how Tinubu just push them away from the national cake, from the table. They are not sitting at the table. Even the Ribadu self is having issues with his own Fulani brothers. Yes, a lot of things are happening. So for Tinubu to do this is an opportunity for these people to start building their political structures. The middle belt have started. An average middle belter, if the Hausa people join with the middle belt, the Fulani becomes inconsequential. I repeat, if the Hausa people align with the middle belt, like form their own political structures and they come together, because when you look at it, the middle belt, the Hausa people would not align with Fulani politically. They would rather align with the South. And which political movement is in the South? It is the Bola Ahmed Tinubu political movement. See, I'm calling the name it is. It is the Bola Ahmed Tinubu political movement. These are the structures that the middle belt, the Hausas and other ethnicities would align with come 27. So where is P2B getting all these things? You'll be shocked. People will not stop being shocked. When I said it that Tinubu will win the presidency, although I supported P2B with all my heart. I went for meetings, I was an ESCO, I did a lot of things. We did a lot of campaign for P2B. But still me that did the campaign and everything, I told my people that the way I'm seeing this thing, this man will win this election. They look at what is wrong with this guy. No, emotional Nigeria, so emotional. Instead of them to look at what can we do to make sure that, what are the possibilities of this guy winning this, whether is he going to snatch it, is going to steal it, because we knew that the APC was ready to rig. Instead of them to look at, okay, since we are looking at this as a possibility, what are we preparing to do in case this happens? So emotional people always at the end of the day, they are the biggest losers. They stole the election. P2B did the worst. Said calm down. People wanted to come out, were angry with the announcement of Tinubu as winner. Look at how emotions they push us. We have become people without shepherd, sheep without shepherd, because P2B does not have a political platform. The place is squats with article. The place where they squat self. They say we will give you quick notice, we will give you Gary to drink. You know what Gary? You want to follow the chop rice and chicken. We will give you quick notice. That's what they are telling P2B. What P2B? A P2B that was a momentum during the last elections. This was emotions that so like I said, an average Hausa Christian and Hausa Muslim, sensible ones will not support the ADC led by Atiku Abubakar. Instead, they will support Bola Ahmed Tinubu. These are the realities. So which one is better? So don't bring all those issues. Tinubu, what would the Southwest do? Okay, if the Southwest is going to cause harm to the Igbo people or the Yoruba people, can you compare the harm that the Fulani will cause to the Igbo people? Higher, the Southwest will sabotage you. They'll use politics to deprive you of some things. But the Fulani will come to your land, kill you, take over your land, send your people away. You become slaves under the Fulani. Which one is better? You know, I'm looking at the way we are thinking. People are thinking the Yorubas are the problem. So my people are saying Yorubas are the problem. I understand their point. Yorubas are manipulators and not be trusted, blah blah blah. You don't play politics. You they stand one place. Continue now. That's why those that knows how to play politics, they are the one getting results. I've said it before. No matter how you are, who you are, if you don't have political power, you cannot make a difference. If you don't have, look at how Tinubu collected power from the Fulani. He did not start bragging with them, shoulders, rubbing shoulders with them, threatening them. The Southwest, they came together, aligned together, brought in Buhari. Buhari messed up the first tenure. All of them kept quiet. They knew that Buhari messed up, but yet they kept quiet because they were an organized group that had an agenda. They knew how to discipline themselves politically to take that political power. They organized themselves with the fellow of Buhari. They still campaign for Buhari. The Southwest boys still campaign for Buhari. It is when he got to his second term, the end of second term, that Tinubu had to act to grab the primaries. Then he grabbed the presidential. You can see how, if not for all those systematic, there's a book, She Stooped to Conquer. Tinubu stooped, watch, calculated. Okay, this is not the right time for me to attack. No, it's not clear. Look at Tinubu. He saw that the PDP had a weak president in Jonathan. He saw that the PDP had a weak president in Jonathan. He decided to attack them. If Jonathan was someone like Obasanjo, Tinubu will not attack. If he's someone like El-Rufai Wike, Tinubu will not attack. He was preparing for an opportunity. He was prepared. And that's why a weak link in Jonathan. That is when he struck. Despite the fact that he struck, he had to even use Buhari. He didn't say, okay, now we bring the idea. Now we come out, now we fight. Let me be the candidate. He did not put himself in front. He allowed Buhari go. Buhari spent his 8 years. Even with the 8 years, the Fulani showed their true colors. Say, we are so selfish. It is all about us. We don't see anybody like we are not in the same. In this Nigeria, we are ahead of everybody. You are all our slaves. They wanted to sideline Tinubu use madness. He had the shake, he let the shake. He go carry Shetima. He run Muslim ticket. Muslim ticket. Everybody see Muslim ticket. Thank God. This is the perfect time for us to push our agenda. Those they are lie and manipulation. They are magmago. Tinubu use the Muslim ticket to deceive the whole of Northern Nigeria. At the end of the day, when they don't give them, when Tinubu become president, he come out subsidy. BDCs, he collect their license. He dismantled the North and their connection and their power. You know, give Erufai. Now that time, Erufai, when the talk say he's a very smart man, clever man. He remember say he regretted. He's apologizing to Nigerians. I regretted ever supporting Tinubu. Forgive me, not Nigeria. Forgive me. What did he see? Why did he support Tinubu in the first place? It is because of the Muslim ticket. It is because of the Fulani agenda of Islamization, using Islamization to dominate other people in Nigeria and pushing the agenda of Islamizing the country. That's how Tinubu outsmarted them. But if it's my Igbo brothers, you have a lot of arrogance, a lot of pride. At the end of the day, you become the victim and always cry victim. You see, when it is time for war, no morals. You carry your captive. It is when you have won the war, you now start doing morals. Okay, morals, don't do this. In war, you don't say, you don't choke me like this now. Don't cut me like this now. This is not how to cut. Anyhow they will cut you and bring you down. So far you have been brought down. They said that it was the turn of the Igbo people and the Yoruba people stole it. Now, politically, why is it that we have not... Hey, my God, this one is too much. But the point here is that, let me predict. Next election, if ADC does not win, big problem for them. If Tinubu wins, we have a Wike projected for vice president. We have a Hope Uzodinma projected for senate president. We also have somebody projected for maybe a Fulani or a Hausa person, or for a Northern Christian, a Middle Belter, or a Hausa Christian will be used for presidency. South will be vice president. Senate president will be Hope Uzodinma. Then we have the Fulani House of Rep. That's how it's going to be. Just this is the handwriting on the wall. As supposed to say that Tinubu cannot do third term. Sit down there. With the where the house is. Tinubu cannot do third term. Except there's another military coup. Like I said, the only thing, three things that can remove Tinubu. Number one, bloody revolution from Nigerians. Bloody revolution. That they go to Aso, they sack everybody there, somebody else takes over. Bloody revolution. You know that with Nigerian politicians, they are willing to shed blood if you are going to have a revolution. Number two, a military coup, which is almost near impossible at this point in time because Tinubu consolidated on a lot of security measures to make sure that if you know where Aso day like inside middle of forest, before you carry out your military coup, you must be walking inside. And again, the last thing is God. Let me stop here. May God help Nigerians.
This video is to the former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Let me tell you a story. In the land of Atamava, there was a king, and that king believed he knew everything. Nobody dared correct him. In fact, anybody who dared to correct him was sentenced to the gallows. Their heads were immediately chopped off. So the villagers or the community or the kingdom became extremely scared of him. No one dared to correct him. So on this fateful day, in a very, very big feast where all the neighboring kingdoms were invited, a feast was prepared here, and the king of Atamava ate and spilled oil on his garment. And because nobody dared to correct him, to simply go and meet him and tell him that, look, oh, our king, there is oil on your cloth. You have eaten and dropped red oil on your cloth. Because if you correct him, his subjects were scared that if you tell him, you might be sentenced to the gallows, and nobody wants to die prematurely. So a very smart woman in the kingdom decided that she's going to dance to the king, or for the king. And she said she's going to dance, but a mirror should be tied on her back. So they tied a long mirror on her back. And they announced her, "Oh, noble one, great king, we have a woman that will come and dance for your pleasure, for your entertainment." And the woman came and danced and danced. Then she turned her back, ensuring that the mirror reflects the king. And the king saw himself in the mirror and noticed that while he was eating, he has spilled oil, palm oil, all over his cloth. And nobody told him. And while he was in the banquet where all the kingdoms were gathered, he has betrayed himself, knowing that he doesn't have table manners, and he has eaten and, destroyed his clothes with red oil, and he didn't know. But because of that brave woman who danced with a mirror in front of Atiku, in front of King of Atamava, that he now realized. So right now, Atiku, I am dancing in front of you with a mirror tied to my back. I am dancing so that you see that the people want you to be a father. You have oil. You want, in fact, in your own case, you want to spill oil on your clothes by insisting you want to be the president of Nigeria. Some people are born to be fathers, and some people are born to be king. You were born to be a father. That presidency you are looking for is not meant for you. It's not written that Atiku will become the president of this country. It is written for somebody else. For you, Atiku, it's your destiny to be the father of a nation. Be the father. This small thing where I talk, you know what I'm saying.